Have you ever wondered why some people fall for you so deeply, so suddenly, that it feels almost unreal? It's as if they've known you forever, as if you're the answer to something they never knew they were searching for. At first, it seems magical. The way they look at you, the things they say, the intensity of the connection. It's powerful. But with time, questions begin to surface. Was it really about you, or was it about something inside them that you happened to reflect? Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century, believed that love is rarely random. In fact, he argued that people fall in love with you for two specific reasons, and neither has much to do with how you look or what you say. It's not about your charm or confidence, it's about something much deeper, something unconscious. According to Jung, what we often call love at first sight is really a moment of inner recognition, a reflection of something missing, unresolved, or deeply desired within the other person's psyche. This idea might sound poetic, but it's also deeply psychological. Jung believed that we carry within us invisible images, fragments of ourselves, our wounds, our ideals, and our longings. And when someone walks into our life who matches one of those internal patterns, someone who seems to represent what we lack or what we wish to become, our hearts respond before our minds even understand why. In this video, we'll explore the two hidden forces that cause people to fall in love, not with who you truly are, but with what you represent. These forces can create powerful, soul-shaking connections, but they can also lead to disillusionment, heartbreak, and cycles of confusion, especially when love is based more on projection than truth. So if you've ever been loved intensely, only to be abandoned suddenly, or if you've ever felt like you were idealized, worshipped, or needed in ways that didn't fully make sense, stay with us. Because what you're about to discover might not only explain those experiences, it might also help you protect your peace, understand your value, and build love that's rooted in reality, not illusion. 1. They gain your trust to control you. They don't show up with a warning. In fact, they often arrive as exactly what you think you need: attentive, empathetic, easy to talk to. They listen, remember the little things, and make you feel like maybe, just maybe, you've finally found someone who gets you. But what you don't see right away is that their kindness is not connection, it's strategy. Their attentiveness isn't rooted in care, it's calibration. They are learning you, learning how you react, what makes you feel safe, where your vulnerabilities live. And the deeper they understand your emotional wiring, the easier it becomes to pull the strings. This is the first, and perhaps most overlooked, sign of a master manipulator. They create the illusion of emotional safety, only to use that safety as leverage later. They don't ask for your trust. They build it, carefully, intentionally. And once it's there, they begin to bend it. Not by breaking boundaries outright, but by slowly shifting your sense of what's normal. They might make subtle comments that make you question your memory, offer backhanded compliments wrapped in concern, withdraw affection just long enough to make you chase it. Each move is small, but cumulative, and over time your sense of self begins to erode. What makes this tactic so powerful is its invisibility. You don't realize you're being manipulated because it doesn't feel like manipulation. It feels like intimacy, like someone trying to help. And because it's wrapped in moments of tenderness and connection, you excuse the discomfort. You convince yourself that you're just being sensitive, that you need to be more patient, more understanding, until one day you find yourself hesitant to speak, careful not to set them off, and apologizing for feelings you're no longer even sure are valid. The danger lies not just in what they do, but in how it changes you. You begin to monitor your own behavior, edit your emotions, and second-guess your instincts. Your inner voice, once clear and steady, becomes clouded by doubt. And in that space of uncertainty, they gain control, not through dominance, but through erosion. Not by force, but by confusion. Recognizing this pattern doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're waking up. Because once you see it, you can no longer unsee it. And in that awareness, the balance begins to shift. You start reclaiming your voice, and slowly you begin to rebuild the most important connection of all, the one with yourself. Now, let's move deeper, because emotional manipulation doesn't just affect how you think, it rewires how you feel. In the next part, we'll explore how a master manipulator shapes emotional dependency, not by taking control, but by making you hand it over willingly. 2. They confuse you to stay in control. They don't raise their voice. They don't need to. Instead, they leave you questioning your own. You say something with certainty, only to be met with a calm correction that makes you wonder if you got it all wrong, again and again, until eventually you stop speaking with certainty at all. This is not a clash of opinions, it's a tactic. Master manipulators don't overpower you with aggression, they undermine you with subtle distortion. It begins with small things, details you remember differently, emotions they say you misread, stories they recall in ways that rewrite the past. And over time, their version becomes the truth, not because it's accurate, but because it's repeated enough to wear you down. You might even admire how composed they are, how rational they sound. But that calmness is not peace, it's power. They're not soothing you, they're disarming you. When someone invalidates your reality while appearing reasonable, it's easy to assume the fault lies with you. Maybe you're being dramatic, maybe you are forgetful, maybe your gut is wrong. But it's not. This confusion you feel, it's not a flaw in your perception. It's a response to psychological manipulation. What makes this tactic especially dangerous is its invisibility. There's no yelling, no threats, no obvious cruelty. Just a gentle, consistent unraveling of your confidence. You start hesitating before you speak. You second-guess your memories. And soon, you're walking on eggshells. Not because they asked you to, but because you're trying to avoid the discomfort of always being wrong. Healthy people don't make you feel like your mind is unreliable. They don't distort facts to win arguments. They don't gaslight you with grace. When someone constantly corrects your reality while painting themselves as the calm voice of reason, it's not wisdom, it's control wrapped in politeness. So if you find yourself constantly confused after conversations with someone, if clarity fades and self-doubt takes its place, it's not an accident, it's a warning. Because manipulation isn't always loud. Sometimes it whispers in the form of logic and hides behind the smile of someone who only wants to help. 3. They give just enough to keep you hooked. One moment, they make you feel like the most valued person in the world. The next, you're left waiting, confused, anxious, and wondering what changed. It's not that they disappear entirely. They check in just enough. A message here, a compliment there, a sudden burst of attention after days of silence, and every time it's enough to pull you back in. This isn't inconsistency, it's a system. Psychologists call it intermittent reinforcement, a reward pattern so powerful it's used to create addiction in gambling. When affection and attention are given unpredictably, your brain learns to crave them, not because they're constant, but because they're uncertain. You start chasing the high of being chosen again, of being seen again, of being loved again. And with every small drop of affection, you're pulled deeper into the emotional loop. The manipulator knows this. They know that giving you everything all the time would allow you to relax, and worse, to think clearly. But if they keep you hoping, keep you guessing, keep you needing just one more good moment, you won't leave. You'll stay. Not because it feels good, but because it felt good once, and you're still chasing that feeling. This is the illusion. You believe you're building a connection, but in reality, you're being conditioned. They make you emotionally dependent by linking love with unpredictability. And slowly, you stop trusting your instincts. You stop noticing the absence because you're so focused on the occasional presence. You start telling yourself stories. They're just busy. They care deep down. It's just a phase. But the truth is simpler and far more painful. Someone who loves you doesn't leave you starving for scraps of connection. Healthy relationships don't keep you on edge. They don't make you wait for affection like it's a reward you have to earn. Real love is consistent, steady, safe. So ask yourself, do you feel secure with this person, or are you always bracing for change? If you find yourself constantly hoping they'll go back to how they were in the beginning, you're not in love. You're in a cycle. And the hardest part is, until you break the pattern, it will always feel like love, even when it's not. If something in this video struck a chord, if you recognized a pattern, felt a truth, or simply saw yourself more clearly, then don't walk away unchanged. Let that awareness become your power. Hit the like button to let YouTube know this kind of truth matters. Subscribe to Mindful Sphere and join thousands of others choosing clarity over chaos and depth over distraction. And if someone came to mind while watching, send this their way. Sometimes a single realization can be the turning point someone's been waiting for.